That is how you present yourself. Do you think, like, why do I feel there is this, like, narrative in the Bravo world that, like, Kim is just persona non grata? Like, I mean, and that there, I have this, like, I feel it. I feel it. Like, I feel like she's just not welcome back. Is that just me and my,
Oh no, listen, I think when it comes to Kim, this is the thing, right? Okay. How you're introduced, that's who they are accustomed to. So when you go against the grain, you become unfamiliar to some people, right? So let's start with Kim Zolciak. Think about it. We fell in love with Kim with red solo cup, cigarette in hand, cuss like a sailor, and would be around the women, would show up at the parties, show up at the events, and like totally integrated herself into the storyline. The moment her and Troy got married during season 5, I mean, they got married after season 4. Season 5 was her last season, and it's no coincidence. She was no longer the Kim that, in my opinion, the world and the network fell in love with for that show. So giving her the spinoff was like, can we have this I Love Lucy persona for this show? And it did well for a lot of seasons. But I think what needs to happen is, and think about, and they brought her back season 10, right? And I thought she did a great job getting into with Kenya, with Nene, with the roaches, and the, you know, your child sucking blah for John Legend tickets, like that whole thing, like was a great story. But Kim left, and Croy was hiding in the garage. So those are the things to me that I feel like can sometimes make people think, are you ready to become who we fell in love with? And I think Kim has to remind them she still exists somewhere. She still exists
yeah.
somewhere. But you know she's coming back at least for one appearance during this season. So we'll see. But I'll say this much. Andy said he texted her yesterday. And let's be clear.
Andy
That's
doesn't
cold.
just text.
That's cold.
I mean, who would, if we could pick anyone? I mean, truly, we have a choice of anyone from the past of Atlanta. Who would you want back? Nene? I mean, that's based on your face. That's what you're gonna say.
I would love to see Nene and Kim back with Sheree. Because this, and this is, to me, is this. That trifecta was delicious television. There's something about the chemistry between Nene, Kim, and Sheree that is indescribable. And I feel like Sheree is missing that on this show right now because listen, yeah, she's cool with Sonya, which is great. Her and Kenya have a good rapport, which is actually really fun to watch. But she doesn't have anybody with rich history. And where they kind of know secrets about each other. And they're almost like in a line of like, bitch, if you go further, I'm going to expose you. And it's fun to watch. I need to see Nene, Kim, and Sheree in the same room, just the three of them. And I think the ratings will explode.
Yeah. And we can get rid of some others.
Who would you get rid of, David?
Who would you get rid of? You know, to be honest with you, and I've said this before, I almost thought that I'm not shocked that Drew and Ralph are divorcing, but I'm almost shocked. Like, it wouldn't, I even went to my mind of like, is this a real storyline?
Oh, so when that happened, I had to call some people in close proximity. I can 100% confirm it's
It's
really happening.
real.
Oh, David, it's real. It's
I mean,
real.
you've read some of the things. I mean, it seems ugly. Yeah.
Listen, it could get very ugly if things get exposed?
What type of things?
Let's just say listen, there's rumors of infidelity, there's rumors of a side woman. There's, there's all those things that are happening in the state of Georgia, not Florida, but the state of
Right.
Georgia.
You're implying there's rumors of, maybe Ralph is not a completely straight man.
No, see,
Oh, oh,
no. It has nothing to do with. From what I
oh,
was told, it has
just.
nothing to do with Ralph. Allegedly, that is more so Drew. That's what the people are telling me.
So that could make Drew interesting. And now,
Yeah.
I've had my girl, listen, you know what happens once you come on and we have a great chat, then it's like that's like the Heather Dubrow. So I've had such an amazing experience with Miss Sanya Richards Ross. I loved her. So
Yeah.
now it's like I am
So
now.
wait, but okay, let me ask you this. Pre-interview, right? So before you interview Sanya, would she have been on the chopping block?
Well, I wasn't. But same thing. Like just when she was coming on my show, even Candy, when Candy was coming on my show, I was like, it's gonna be okay, but it's gonna be very canned. And nope, Candy was like, I am bowing down to Candy because like this was one of the best interviews ever. I love so when Sanya was coming on, I was like, okay, I mean, there's maybe not so much here to pull from, but I found her so endearing and real and just willing to answer my questions.
Okay. So you still didn't answer my question. Who would you?
Well, it's
Okay,
so
so
hard. You have to go down like elimination. You have to process of elimination, right? I mean,
this is a top model. So we can like, I have two cards in my hands, and one of you are going to the next round. I'll tell you mine. It's fine.
who?
Okay. And it doesn't mean I don't disclaimer, it doesn't mean I don't like you. I love you. I just he's asking me my dream cast.
Yeah.
My dream Atlanta Housewives cast is Nene, Kim, Sheree, Candy, Phaedra, and Kenya.
I mean, that would be Phaedra is I mean, aren't you excited? She's headed to Married to Medicine. I mean, this is
Yes, and I have heard, David.
keep going, girl. Keep going.
I have heard that Phaedra is back and is making some good television. I heard listen, I've been told that Phaedra, what I say about Kim Zolciak, right? Like who we fell in love with. I heard that original Phaedra is back.
This is where like Girls Trip could really do you good or bad. It really is changing careers before our very eyes, right? I mean, Taylor is back in the OC, and I mean now I think Girls Trip resurrected. It's like a little test. We're
It
gonna give you a little
is.
test.
It is. It is. I think so too. It helped Tamra. It helped Taylor. It helped Phaedra. So
It
I
did
think
not. It did not help Brandy Glanville, and that's no shade because I love.